I'm Daphne Goode here at the BC Forest Discovery Centre, and even though they're closed for the season, there will be a big celebration here on February 1st. Everybody's invited to celebrate the big leaf maple on Vancouver Island. Welcome to Go Island, Cowichan Valley. On today's show, we'll meet a Cowichan business owner who is creating unique woodwork. Romeo and Juliet and more coming to the Cowichan Theatre. And the Maple Syrup Festival is almost here on Go Island, Cowichan Valley.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
I'm with Steve Titus, one of the sapsuckers on Vancouver Island. Steve, what's your own history with tapping maple trees?
We got into it, maybe about 11 years ago after reading an article in Local Rag, the newspaper.
Asking for people to tap trees?
No, it was talking all about that it could be done, because most of us didn't know it could be. And Gary Backlund, who's sort of the ringleader, I would say, for the sapsuckers, they must have chatted with him, and they talked about the season and the tapping and the boiling. And I grew up on the island or around the island and always thought it couldn't be done, and same with Laura, and we have lots of maple trees at home, so we thought, oh, we better give it a try. There were some workshops being given, like at the community center. We tried to get into one of those, and it was already booked up. They were going to do more in the spring, but I just read the article which said it would be over by then. So we got on the computer, got a starter kit from back east, which is easy to do, and got going on our own.
Well, you talk about back east, and of course most of us associate maple syrup with Quebec, and it almost seems like, gee, we shouldn't be doing this out here. Yeah. Almost as if we don't really have the trees that would provide maple syrup, but it sounds like there is quite a harvest on Vancouver Island.
A little more all the time. We have the trees, but they're a different tree. It's our local big leaf maple, not the sugar maples at all. Totally different tree. Our season is different. It starts early. It can be as early as the end of November. Our season drags on. It's apparently back east it's over in a few weeks and it's done. But our season drags on. It can go right through to, I'm going to say, the end of February and around there. And we just get little runs now and then. Apparently back east it's sort of a few big runs and then that's it. We get little runs, well, they can be okay runs, and then we'll have nothing for weeks. Yeah. And you think it's over, and then the weather changes. Our trees heal themselves, so we re-drill the trees, get another run. Our first few years, we didn't realize that. We were really pleased with what we got around Christmas and New Year's. Boiled it up, cleaned our stuff, put it away. Discovered later we could have made about 3 times probably most of those years. So we know that now.
Steve Lorimer spent his entire career in the forest industry and is now president of the Forest Museum Board of Directors. He enjoys discussing the sustainability of the forest industry and its support of wildlife, water, fisheries, and non-timber products like maple syrup. Wow, we're standing right here among the maple trees and the beautiful evergreens on Forester's Walk outside the BC Forest Discovery Centre. And Steve, I didn't realize there's such a lot of acreage here.
Well, the BC Forest Discovery Centre is actually on 100 acres of land. So we have a combination of forested areas and open fields and the artifacts, the terrain. It's quite a lovely place.
It is, and a lot of volunteers work here, so there's quite a network of trails, which is wonderful for any time of the year, really.
Well, that's right. It's very nice. You can enjoy the differences in different seasons. There's lots of birds and wildlife. We're right on the lake as well, so it's really quite a nice place.
Now, during the Maple Festival on February 1st, people will be able to traipse around in here. As Steve was telling us earlier, people will be tapping all these trees, and it looks like they've been almost tapped out in years past. But we expect syrup to be flowing that day.
Well, we're certainly optimistic that will be the case, and as we have been led to believe, the maples are pretty resilient, and they are up to being tapped many, many times.
Yeah. One of the best things people could do, though, is come and get a starter kit, and that's available at the Maple Syrup Festival, though. It's coming up here at the BC Forest Discovery Centre. So tell us a bit about these tools of the trade here, Steve.
Yeah, well, because we got going, well, there weren't starter kits for sale out here yet at that point anyway, we ordered a starter kit from back east, which gave me 10 traditional pails. These are recycled from big operations back east. It gave us 10 of the spiles or taps, whatever you like to call them. So once we've drilled into the tree, we tap these in. The sap, hopefully their sap will drip down and the pail hangs on the hook. They can be metal, they can be plastic. Those are, I'd say, a traditional design. So we started with traditional stuff. The starter kit even came with the drill bit, but you can get these at any hardware store. Actually, I'm probably one of the few people that are using the Armstrong drill. Most people just use a little electric one too.
Yeah.
I've marked the bit somewhere around 2 to 2.5 inches, so that's what I'm aiming for when I'm drilling into the tree, is about that depth. So most of us do that just to give us an idea. But the starter kits that they'll have are very basic. There'll be actually anyone coming in the door at the festival, there's an information sheet which has all the basics on it that you need to know anyway. The little taps, they're made to hook the tubing onto, and just people snip the tubing to the length they like. They're scrounging recycled bottles, as long as it's food safe is what you got to keep in mind. Some people are using cooking oil containers that are larger. That would have been probably cranberry juice or something. I see someone's tied a bit of string onto that. Yeah, they'll put that on tie it to the tree or put it on the ground, tap this in, put the tube in, and they're ready to go.
So February 1st, now this is one of the festivals that happens at the BC Forest Discovery Centre, and you are, of course, including the popular train. There are a number of trains here. You got train buffs coming out all the time, but the Green Hornet is going to be running on February 1st. Tell us about that.
Well, that's a train that we, one of our trains, operating trains. This is actually a narrow gauge railway, so it's a little bit unique in that the width of the wheels is less than on a standard gauge railway that you'd see on the CNR, the CPR, that sort of thing. But the Green Hornet is one of our locomotives that will be pulling the train on that particular day, and
Great.
people will be able to enjoy a ride around on the track system.
Yes, and tapping, as we've said, there's going to be tastings as well. You can find out about recipes, how to use maple syrup. What else would you like to tell us about that's going to be featured on February 1st?
Well, there'll be some entertainment, some education, as you say. There'll be an opportunity for people to, if they get really excited about maple syrup, to buy some equipment so they can go tap their own local maple tree and on their yard. Preferably, they have permission if it's not on their yard.
And those starter kits are very affordable and really easy to pick up here at the center.
That's right. They'll be available here for people that are interested, for sure.
Okay, well, we wish you all the best with that. And after the festival is finished, the next really big event will be at Easter time?
That's correct. That'll be the next big event. We're actually closed for the season right now, but we do have this special event we've had for 7 years now. And then we sort of kick off the beginning of our year again with Easter.
That'll be fun and a busy place. Well, thanks so much for spending time. Because I didn't say the serious side of the business is Steve here is the president of the board of directors, so you got all kinds of work to do, I'm sure.
Oh, it's all kinds of fun too as well.
Good,
it's great, yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you. Now, speaking of woodworking, we're going to share a story about a fellow who was kind of in midlife thinking, what will I do in retirement? And suddenly you've heard the adage about do what you love. Well, he turned what he loves into his employment and got very involved in woodworking. That story with Paul Beilstein after our break. The Big Leaf Maple Syrup Festival is coming up February 1st with tapping demos, mini workshops, live entertainment, and a syrup competition. Everyone is welcome, but organizers say it would be best to leave your pets at home. We're going to get tapping here, so let's head over to this nice little grove of maple trees. They look like they've been here a while. There's some moss hanging around. That doesn't interfere at all.
No, I just clean it off before I drill. It doesn't bother it at all.
Okay,
No.
I'm excited, Steve. Let's get going, and you can give us a good demonstration of what we do to get some nice, yummy maple syrup out of there. Get ready for pancakes.
Okay, so the maple tree we've found here, it's about as small as I would bother tapping myself. We find it sort of anywhere from 8 inches to probably about 18 inches are the best trees. The big monster maples you think are great, none of us have good luck with them. The sap's in there, but we have better luck with the smaller trees. This guy, he's about as small as I would tap myself. If you had a 12-inch or an 18-inch one, some people would put 2 taps in. Doesn't seem to bother the tree. There's some of that stuff we just don't know enough about yet.
Yeah.
So, got my pail, got my spile, I have my drill bit, and this one here, there's not a lot of moss. I'm not going to have to clean the tree off or anything. Just eye up a spot that looks like it'll work. Most people are sort of waist height, but that's not that important. Got my drill bit. Say I'm one of the few probably still using the Armstrong drill bit. Most people would tell you a slight angle up. Not positive how critical it is, but that seems to be the theory, and in we go. So, there we go, things are happening. I'm sort of watching. If I suddenly got a lot of rotten wood come out, I would move the drill bit or go to a different tree, but we're getting nice white wood coming out. Actually looks slightly damp already, which is a good sign. Who knows? Our trees at home are not running right now. They did last weekend when we had just after the cold. Okay, I'm getting close to my mark, and I'm gonna try and keep, whoops, I was pulling out as I was twisting the bit. Try and get the hole clean so there's not a lot of little chips that could, yeah, that's probably not bad.
I think you're a pro.
Well, I don't know about that, because the hole that the sap has to go through on both these spiles, it's pretty small, so it wouldn't take much of a chip to plug that up. Anyway, make sure I get the right side up. That's the right way up for this kind of spile, and my hammer, and just want to tap that sort of gently, very snug, but it is only plastic, so we don't want to wallop it too hard. And unfortunately, I see no signs of dripping yet. Sometimes, if it's running, it's instant. It's dripping before you're even hammered in all the way. It's our weather right now.
Yeah.
And if we get some cold, is that next week? I thought I saw it was going to be down to freezing some nights. My guess is we'll get some more, another run. It's clear, looks like water, tastes just a very faint trace of maple to it, because it hasn't been concentrated, boiled down or anything. Yeah, we use the straight sap, the way it comes out of the tree, make coffee out of it sometimes, tea out of it sometimes. You can use it for cooking rice, almost anything you have you use water for. You could use the sap, and so we do a bit of that. And then the boiling's a whole other project.
The Big Leaf Maple Syrup Festival is coming up on February 1st with tapping demos, mini workshops, live entertainment, and a syrup competition. Everyone is welcome to come out and try tapping at the BC Forest Discovery Centre.
Okay, we've got the spile tapped in nicely, and the traditional style pails, they just hang on that hook right there. And actually, my trees at home, I have the traditional metal lids too, because there will be moss will fall in it, the odd bug will get in it. So, and rainwater, if it's raining, we don't want to dilute it even more. So yeah, at home I would put the metal lids on them too. And yep, that'll just hang there, and in a really good day, that can be full. But that only happens once or twice a year.
So we're looking for about a 12 pancake tree, I think, out here, eh, Steve?
That would sound good. So this is, we've just come down the Forester's Walk, which is where we'll be bringing groups down during the festival. And I've spotted a tree we've used other years. I can tell from, I can actually see the scars from where they've healed themselves over. Maples really healed. In fact, some foresters will tell you it's a weed. Try and get rid of a maple. But they really healed up nicely. I have used cork sometimes myself at home. I got those from back east, but usually don't bother. And I don't know of anyone else that bothers plugging the holes, because I worried about bugs getting in and things. Doesn't seem to be a problem. But you can see from the way they've healed up, the tree doesn't seem to mind at all.
So let's give this one a try.
We'll give this one a try. Okay, I'm just gonna pick myself a spot here again. And again, just in the hole, give it a bit of a tap. So that's good. It's not gonna flip over once it's full. So yep, that'll work quite nicely just like that. And we've got lots of tube to carry on to the next one.
Enjoy the Big Leaf Maple Syrup Festival on Saturday, February 1st from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the BC Forest Discovery Centre. We're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, what's coming up at the Cowichan Theatre?